Windows 11 is getting a new security setting to block ransomware attacks. Microsoft releases a new default policy to thwart credential attacks, which is also heading to Windows 10 because, as we mentioned earlier today, a lot of people still using that. So what do we know about these ransomware attacks and how we're stopping them?
That's a lie. It's nothing. It's nothing new.
It's nothing new.
It's
That's
not-
why
it's
this
not
is
a-
It's really not. Yeah.
It's not a single thing that's new. It's been built into the Windows operating system and controlled either through local policy or group policy in Active Directory domains. And what it is, it's an account policy. So, we have complexity rules that are pushed out during, in enterprises. You have to have a strong password, so many characters, how long before you have to change it, how many days do you have to use it, right? All of that stuff we've probably, if you're, coming from an enterprise environment, you've been confronted with at least once or twice. Well, in those same settings, there's something known as an account lockout threshold. And just by default, it's not turned on. So the new security feature is we turn the
Turning
light
it
switch on.
Yeah.
It's new.
You like that?
Well, that's stupid.
That's a great title there, isn't it?
Yeah, 'cause
New
I'm
security feature.
I'm looking at this article, and it's got, there's a quote from this guy, the vice president of OS security and enterprise. So clearly,
yeah.
it's got to be new. No,
So this is when a marketer gets a hold of things.
not bad.
Yeah. See,
We ruin everything.
be the change you want to see in the world, there, Peter.
Yeah, these are settings that are essentially in group policy objects, whether they're the local policy, a standalone machine that's not in an Active Directory domain, or you can configure it through group policy objects in an Active Directory domain. But like we've been mentioning, it's just turned off by default. And now they decided, hey, we're going to go ahead and we'll turn that on, which, it does make sense from a business perspective, but...
Well, I've gone ahead and written a macro to turn it back off.
There we go. There we go.
So
Yeah.
it should be
Yeah,
set.
because that's the way it's got to be. Well, we had some fun with this little thing, kind of like
Yes.
sparked up an interesting conversation between Wes and I today, where we were like, well, Windows 11's doing a bunch of weird stuff. Like you can't when you install Windows 11
Home. Yep.
right? You have to have a Microsoft account. There is no we got around that really quickly.
Yeah. Yeah. And the thing is, it doesn't affect Windows 11 Home because group policy is not even available for Windows 11 Home, and you're going to be logging in anyways with a Microsoft account, so it's going to be through the cloud.
Yeah.
So
It was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Windows.
Interesting.
fun.
Yeah.
Sounds like a blog post. Right.
That's what I told him.
Mm-hmm.
Making
Coming soon. Now we've said it.
Yeah.
You're on the hook now.
Good luck with that.
Back to the marketing team, screwing
That's right.
things up for you.
I think the intent behind it's great, but to call it something new, it's a little misleading.
So I've changed the headline to Windows 11
Old
pushes
feature.
button. Yeah.
That's right. Turns the light switch on.
Yeah. Good for
Flip
them.
switch.
Yeah, but the Switch does something, so that's good. So
Something that's been there for.
I still think. I'll tell you what, though. I'm sitting here joking around about it, and Dan and I were talking about this as well when we were, having fun with Windows 11 Home. Is that I didn't realize? Maybe you can talk about this because I know you've been doing a lot of stuff in the web. Is that still the main bread and butter for ransomware attacks? Is RDP, Remote Desktop Protocol, session endpoints that are out there where people can connect to them. I thought that was fascinating.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this will help alleviate some of that because there is password policy that is now turned on by default, not turned off by default. It just boggles my mind that you would have an Active Directory and RDP and all this other stuff, this high level things that really take some knowledge and thought to even just get going well.
Yeah.
And they would not do any kind of security hey, you know what we should do is if I don't log into this thing correctly, 6 times or so, it locks me out for 30 minutes.
Sure, session timeouts,
Well,
right?
This is a part of password policy.
Yeah.
I mean, is there a reason why this wouldn't have been on by default before? Just
No.
oversight? Okay.
So here's another thing.
Some people have it's kind of a philosophical, how many attempts is all right? How long should I lock you out for?
Yeah.
Should I unlock you at all? Or
Yeah,
do you
I
should
love
have to
those
call a help desk?
images
It's
of
philosophically-
toddlers that have locked their parents' iPads for years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happened to one.
that's
It
what's up.
happened to one of the iPads I had. My
Did it
youngest
really?
sure did. I had to go through the whole Apple account and to get back into it. But
That's when you bury it in the backyard like a time capsule.
Had all my Bitcoin on it.
Bring this one back in 5 years.
But if you think about it, kind of building off what you were saying, Dan, think about, I know when I come in on Monday morning and I type a password, it takes me 6 or 7 times just to get that password right. And if I haven't had my coffee, it could be a lot more. So I could denial a service myself on Monday coming in and logging the
That's a
if it's too
feature,
strict.
actually.
Yes.
A little more weekend for you. See, I've done that where, like, on my normal keyboard, I have, like, it's the muscle memory of certain passwords, like, and then I do shift that. And then when I'll get on a mobile one where I'm not like this, but I'm using my thumbs, it's like, oh, wait, do I shift on that one, or do I?
Plus, it's so easy to fat finger something on a touchpad. So,
And for home users, it doesn't really affect them. And let me be specific when I say this. It doesn't affect them directly if they're using Windows 11 Home, because the way you log into that type of machine, unless you do like Dan and I did and you bypass it. But if you're running the Windows 11 Pro, it does affect you because you do have the security policies that'll be turned on by default. And I can see somebody that if they've been using Windows for a very long time, just from an end user standpoint, all of a sudden now they're not really sure why they're actually locked out of their machines. That could potentially cause problems for people.
Yeah. Or maybe the hackers are the ones disappointed at home going, I used to be able to get into this. How did I?
Yeah. Why is this no longer my thing? Well, there's always credential stuffing and password spraying techniques that just get still very, very useful.
Yeah.
Well, if you're being like targeted by somebody like a real APT or whatever, then they're gonna see that Wes, Monday morning after lunch, those are good times to like throw passwords at the system because
it looks like normal traffic.
Right. It bleeds into the noise.
Yeah.
Right. It happens. So Wes might come back from lunch, try to log in and get like a lockout and be like, that's weird. He's just going to call us help desk. Right. Yeah. He might not think nothing of it at that point in time, you know? I fat fingered my password a couple of times.
Now you know Monday morning's the time to hack Wes.
Yeah.
After lunch. Or after lunch, because I come back skunk drunk.
Sure, because there's barbecue sauce on his fingers and he's slipping all over the keyboard.
Yeah, he's licking the keyboard.
But that's a security feature as well, because no one wants to touch his.
No, man, no.
It's toxic.
It is nasty, ants and everything.
Just like a
just a light over the keyboard shows you which barbecue stains have the most, or the keys have the most barbecue stains.
That's smart. That's smart.
Valley Forge.
Feel for them sticky keys.
That's right.
If you enjoyed that segment, be sure to check out our entire podcast available in the playlist right here. And you can always subscribe to stay up to date with the latest tech news and other happenings in the IT world. Be sure to tune in every Thursday for new episodes. I hope to see you there.